How's it going, everybody? This is MTG Mondays here with another edition of 99 Problems. This time it's going to be Kurkesh, the Onakke Ancient. Sorry about the glare there it is. Kurkesh, the Onakke Ancient. He is a new legendary creature from M15. He's a 4/3 for 4, and whenever you activate an ability of an artifact that is not a mana ability, you can pay 1 red. If you do, you copy the ability and choose new targets. So this guy is all about playing artifacts with really good activated abilities. So yeah, first off we're going to start with the lands. We've got 29 mountains, Dread Statuary, Care Keep, Buried Ruin, Hellion Crucible, and Valakut. Valakut's in there just because, you know, we're playing so many mountains, why not be able to use it. Next we're going to go through just some of the normal stuff of the deck. We've got Act on Impulse, which is just a way to draw stuff, Aftershock, way to deal with things, and Shattering Pulse, another way to deal with some problem artifacts. Magus of the Moon, we're not playing too many non-basics, so that's pretty good for us. We've got 3 dragons, Horde Smelter, we've actually got more, but Horde Smelter, Hellkite Igniter, Hoarding Dragon, and Molten Steel Dragon. I've always liked Molten Steel Dragon, and these are really good with artifact cards. So we'll move these over here. Generator Servant is there to get Kurkesh out really fast, or one of our bigger guys, or anything really. He just adds 2 mana, which is nice. And Torchling has just been one of my favorite red cards for a long time. Yeah, he does fun things. Next is kind of just the rest of the red cards in the deck. There's only 3 more, which is Furnace of Wrath, Chain Reaction, and Blasphemous Act. These all kind of combo together with Chain Reaction and Furnace of Wrath, or Blasphemous Act, Furnace of Wrath, and Stuffy Doll. These all together, they're really funny, and you can just blow somebody out with it. So then we've got just some of the regular artifacts that are in the deck. We've got Rings of Brighthearth, which is essentially another copy of Kurkesh, except you pay 2 colorless. Minion Reflector to get some to copy your creatures like Wormcoil Engine and stuff like any of the dragons. Swiftfoot Boots to protect Kurkesh. Mirrorworks, again, to copy artifacts. Staff of Nin, Shimmer, Gauntlet of Power, and Cage Sun. Those are in there because, well, one, we run red, a single color, and that accelerates us really fast. Unwinding Clock is in there. It untaps all my artifacts, and that's what I want. Semblance Ample makes all my artifacts cheaper. Whisper Silk Cloak is good to put on Kurkesh or anybody else. Spinabish Saw, there's ways to abuse it in here to where you can just keep playing it over and over again. And Nim Death Mantle is there just in case Kurkesh dies, or you can keep looping Wormcoil Engine. So then we got these 2, which is Soul Ring and Doubling Cube. These are probably some of the only ones that you can't copy with Kurkesh, or Rings of Brighthearth, but they're still good on their own. Turn 1 Soul Ring ensures a turn 2 Kurkesh if you have 2 mountains in your hand, which is pretty devastating. Now we're going to go over some of like the combos of the deck with Kurkesh and or Rings of Brighthearth. So then you get Ring of 3 Wishes and Planar Portal, which is way to pay 6 and 2, or 6 and 1 red to go get 2 cards, or 5 and 2 and 5 and 1 red to go get 2 cards, which is really nice. Voltaic Key with these becomes basically 1 and a red to untap target artifact, or 3 colorless to untap target artifact, which we will get to later. Crackland Ironworks is really, really good with this entire deck. You're able to generate a lot of mana with it. Essentially, you can sack an artifact and... where's he at? Like, what's his name here? Wormcoil Engine, and just kind of recur him almost infinitely with Nim Death Mantle, because when he dies, he goes to the graveyard, spawns 2 other artifacts, and you can just keep doing crazy stuff. It's infinite enter the battlefield and graveyard triggers. Sensei Divining Top becomes really good. It becomes tap, put this on top of your deck, draw 2 cards for this and a red, or this and 2. So basically you can draw your entire deck for however much mana you have. Hellevault becomes 7, 8, 9, so 7 and 2 colorless to destroy, to exile 2 creatures you don't control, or 7 and a or red to exile two creatures you don't control. Avarice Totem is really good because for 5 and a red, you can put 2 activations on the stack, switch this and the target, and then switch something random and get Totem of Avarice back. And if you do that, if they don't have 5 open, which is so then they can't just react to it. Ratchet Bomb can clear some stuff. Tower of Fortunes will draw you 8 cards. Temporal Aperture can get you things off the top of your deck for free, so that's really good. Next is kind of some enablers. So with Mycosynth and Liquid Metal Coating, it turns everything basically that you have into an artifact. And so stuff like Hellion Crucible and just a whole bunch of other things become abusable with Kurkesh or rings. Now some of the other activated abilities that we can do: Thought Dissector, Dreamstone Hedron to draw 6 cards, Oblivion Stone, Traveler's Amulet to go get 2 lands, Steel Hellkite, which is another dragon, destroy a bunch of things, Otherworld Atlas, draw a bunch of cards, Keening Stone, mill a bunch of things, Prototype Portal, put a bunch of things in play, which actually comes into play later, Lux Cannon, you can blow stuff up way faster, Mere Welder. This entire deck is about activated abilities of artifacts, so he's really good. Hammer Porphyros gives all your creatures haste, which is good, and the activated abilities works really well with these. Crystal Ball, same thing. Temple Bell, Predator Flagship, destroy stuff, and Jester's Cap. And then the win con of the deck is going to be Mindslavering. A lot of times with Trading Post. So in order to do this, you Mindslaver for 4, pay an extra 1, you'll get 2 activations of Mindslaver. It's in the graveyard. Then you will, on your first turn, pay 1 life, create a goat token. Next turn, get Mindslaver back, do it again. So it's going to cost you 1 life each turn unless you have any of these next cards, which is like Prototype Portal, Mimic Vat, Soul Foundry, Mirror Propagator, or Echo Chamber, and your opponent has creatures in play. So any one of those in play and Trading Post, then you can just infinitely combo them with Mindslaver and eventually kill them. Another way is to just generate huge amounts of mana and be able to untap things with Voltaic Key and stuff like Stuffy Doll. You can keep untapping it and dealing it damage. That's also another way to win with Chain Reaction and whatnot, but Basalt Monolith and Grim Monolith become really good. Well, Basalt Monolith and Rings of Bright Hearth combo together to make just infinite mana, but Basalt Monolith and Kurkesh even combo to just add a bunch of mana. It doesn't add infinite because you have to pay a red each time you want to untap it, so but then this and Kurkesh become very large amounts of mana as well. So that is my Kurkesh, the Onakke Ancient deck for 99 Problems. Make sure to subscribe and favorite, and let me know what you want to see next week, and I'll see you next time.